This video is brought to you by the Farmer Klein YouTube channel. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Farming Simulator 22 Map First Impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at
Recanto da Alvorada.
But before that, this video is brought to you by Farm Inc. and Dirty Diesel. Thank you for being farm barons. So the
Recanto da Alvorada.
map can be found over at the farmingsimulator.com website or the in-game downloadable content menu. And as of the 1.0 release, this map is available for all platforms. Let's read a little bit of the description. The
Recanto da Alvorada.
map is a Brazilian map. You arrive packed at a bus station in a promising place for business. Being a new farmer in this region, be a part of history. When you need to relax, you can also use a good cup of coffee. That is because this map includes the ability to produce coffee beans. And then you can further refine those coffee beans into roasted coffee. Pretty cool idea. And while not listed as a required mod, the Jatco K3500 was released the same day as this map as an independent mod. I strongly suggest downloading that with this map. In fact, I'm going to put a link down in the description below to that mod, because without that, you really do not have a way of harvesting coffee. Let's read some more. This map has 79 fields from small to large, where 71 of them have missions. Work with new coffee and sell your production or process it into roasted coffee, as we said. So the vehicle shop can, of course, is where you can buy and repair your vehicles. But there's also another repair shop in town at Lizard Motors. So that is supposed to be right close to the bus stop when we load in. We'll have to take a look. Your grain production in general can be sold at 3 different warehouses, including beets and potatoes. Sugarcane is sold at the mill. And also at the mill, you're going to be able to pull slurry out that is a byprocess of the processing of sugarcane. Bales in general, cotton and wool, are accepted at the cotton mill. It is possible to sell various products in the city market. There's also production points for bakeries and a grape processor. The cooperative accepts different products, especially coffee. The sawmill is in place for wood and board production. If you wish to sell milk from your cows or produce milk products, then the dairy is where you're going to need to look. Needing limestone, that is also available for bulk purchase. There's also a need for fuel. Run the gas station located near the cotton plant. On the new farm, you have at your disposal a house to sleep in, a shed to store your machinery, a water tank, and a fuel station. There is no snow on this map, obviously, because winter in this region is not only cold, but dry. Most companies close their doors at the end of the workday. So, no late night selling for you. Let's go ahead and load on in. Now, we are going to use the mods that we typically use when we take a look at maps. That is additional field info, additional game settings, field lease, field calculator, and precision farming. Now, while these are not required mods, I've gone ahead and activated all of the Jatco mods that released today, just for the sake of having them on this map, because Jatco is a brand to Brazil. So we have a Condor 800 AM18, that is a small sprayer. We have the Jatco 5030 NPK, that is a self-propelled sprayer. The Advanced 3000 pull-behind sprayer. Then we have the Jatco BC610, another small sprayer. We have a massive, it's hard to believe I say this, a massive 3-meter sugarcane harvester in a Jatco Hoover 500. This is the Jatco K3500 authentic coffee bean harvester. Then we have the Jatco Tellus 10,000 fertilized spreader, the Jatco Uniport 4530 self-propelled sprayer, and then this one is one of the most unique pieces of machinery I have ever seen in Farm Sim, the Jatco Uniport Planter 500, a self-propelled planter. Yep, that's the thing. All right, let's go ahead and load on in. I will tell you, if you load this map up in Farm Manager mode or start from scratch, the farm is built out exactly how you see it here in New Farmer mode, with the exception you do not own any land, nor do you own any machinery in Farm Manager or start from scratch. So here we are. This is our career start point. So when we start up on this map, we are literally at the bus station. We've got our hat, we've got our bag, and that is all we have to our name. Let's go ahead and take a look at the map. We'll zoom on out. We see that we have several fields available here. Several are numbered, some are not. We do have all the standard crop types available to us here on Farm Sim 22 with the addition of coffee beans. Now, sadly, coffee does not appear to be one of the crops that is pre-planted on the map. And that is really, really frustrating. I really wish when we had map authors that introduced new crops, that there was at least one area on the map that had that new crop at the start. Because when we look at the growth schedule for coffee, we can't plant coffee at the point that we load in with season's growth calendar enabled. We can't harvest coffee until October, but we would have had to have already planted the coffee. So on this map, if we're playing seasonal cycles, we have to go an entire year and a few months before we're able to get our first coffee harvest. So if this map is updated, I hope at least one of these areas is substituted out for coffee. Ideally, an area that may be owned at the start in New Farmer mode. Take a look at our lands area. What land do we own in New Farmer mode? Well, we own this plot of land right down here, kind of south of town. It is 12.69 acres in size. It's going to cost us $572,000 to buy. Let's go ahead and take a look at our farmland lease screen. And using the farmland lease screen, we're going to see all of the buyable farmlands. If those farmlands include fields, what field numbers they are, how big the farmlands are, and then how much those are going to cost us. It appears that overall the farmlands and field numbers are corresponding, at least from farmlands 1 through 7. Then we get to several farmlands here that do not have any fields associated with them. Go ahead and scroll through this list. And then at any point in time you wish to come back and reference this, you can do so. We are going to be taking a look specifically at the fields and field sizes next. Lots of viable farmlands. I did not think we were going to have this many farmlands. 148 total farmlands available for purchase. Now let's take a look at all the actual fields themselves. This is going to show us the field number and the field sizes specifically. We can go back and then cross-reference the field number with the farmland number in the previous section and then see how much that's going to cost us to buy. Let's go ahead and take a look and see how the soil map is applied to this map. Now we are seeing the generic soil map here, and in areas like this where we do not see any soil, that is technically a massive sugarcane area. So this area is massively planted into sugarcane. So here you can see that we've got an interesting mix of silty clay, loam, sandy loam, and loam scattered throughout the entire map. We take a look at our crop calendar. We do have a standard base game crop calendar available to us. And then we have coffee down here. And as I said, it's regrettable that we don't have coffee at the start. Because if we are playing with the seasonal calendar enabled, we can harvest coffee in October. But it's not planted yet. So we have to wait all the way into spring of the second year before we can plant our coffee beans. Basically place them, because we place them just like we put down olives or grapes. I'll show that in a little bit. And then we have to wait for them to grow. Then finally, October is going to come around the second year before we can actually do any harvest. We go ahead and take a look at our prices screen. You're going to see that we do have the ability to sell all of the base game crops that are available to us in Farm Sim 22, including sugar beet cut. We also have the ability to sell all of our animal outputs, silage, hay, straw, and grass. And then as we move down to our production points, we do have the ability to sell each and every possible base game product that we can produce in Farm Sim 22 on this map. We do also have the ability to buy bulk lime, and we have a stone crusher on this map, and you have 2 places to sell your coffee beans. And then we have 2 places to sell your roasted coffee, which is a custom production point on this map. If we take a look at our starting equipment, it is all new. None of it is leased. There are a few items here, though, that will need some pretty heavy-duty maintenance applied to them. It is a little regretful that we don't have any of the Jacko stuff if we have it enabled. Like I said, you're going to need the Jacko K3500 if you're going to do coffee, because that is going to be configured to harvest coffee. There are no animals on the map, therefore we start with no animals at the start. There are contracts available. This save does not have contracts showing up, but there are contracts available. I did see them pop up in other saves when I was looking around the map. There are no production points at the start, and we do have 21 collectibles according to the statistics screen. Let's go ahead and take a look at our starting equipment. We start out with the Buer 6105 small tractor, as well as the Massey Ferguson 3670 medium tractor. We have the Topliner 4090H harvester that is paired up with the 4090H header. We have the Welger DK115 trailer. We have the Apelago MG335 or MG300 disc harrow. We have the Agromaz Falcon 3 planter, and then we have a 600 kilogram front weight. Let's go ahead and tab real quick over to the main farm here. Open up the doors, and we have a pretty basic farm area. Everything on this farm can indeed be sold. So if you want to completely redo farm the area, you can do that. We have a large shed with the bulk of our machinery stored in it. We have a water tower. Then we have our farmhouse located right here. And inside the farmhouse, we have our wardrobe trigger. And then our sleep trigger. Over here we have a fuel depot, fuel tanker for refueling our vehicles. It is currently empty. And that is your starting farm. Pretty basic, not a lot going on here. But again, we still have some room here to further expand. Or if you want to change any of this up, you can do that because it all can be sold. And in Farm Manager or Start from Scratch, you do have all of this here except for the machinery until you buy the land. Let's go ahead and take a look at our build mode. We do have the ability to put down the shed here that is at our main farm. There's no custom silos, silo extensions. We do have our fuel and our water tower that we can put down. We also have the ability to put down our farmhouse, should we sell it and wish to put it down somewhere else. Under production, we do not have the ability to buy any other production. We do not have the ability to buy our coffee production. There are no custom sell points or greenhouses. Here is our coffee plant, and we basically put those down just like we would putting down our grapes or olives. We've got to draw them. There are no custom animals available. Decoration is all the same. We do have a decent sampling of ground textures. So I'm going to go ahead and put those down here, just so we can take a look at them. We have animal mud, asphalt. We have cobblestone look here. Concrete. Another form of concrete. Dirt. We pretty much know what the dirt's going to look like. We have another type of dirt. A little darker dirt. Forest ground. Grass. Gravel. And then Another dirt. As far as plants go, we have a large sampling of shrubbery, bushes, and grasses. And then we have this grass right here, which is custom with the map. Let's go ahead and take a look at these. So we've got our animal mud, concrete. We have our kind of our cobblestone concrete. We have our dirt. We have a darker color of dirt, forest ground, grass, gravel, and then our mud. And then here we have the custom grass. All right, let's go ahead and get set up for the fly around. We're going to fly around the map, come back to the vehicle shop where we are going to then buy our Mahindra and then drive around and check out all of the production and the various sell points. Now, we'll say, I think the map author did a fabulous job with respect to the distance scenery. In fact, the starting farm is all the way over here on the far western edge of the map. And you may or may not realize it, but we are looking at distance scenery right now. So the map edge is right past this pond. And then everything above the mini-map is basically distance scenery. And I think they did a really fabulous job. If you don't know what you're looking at, you don't realize that you're looking at distance scenery, then it blends in very, very well. Let's go ahead and make our way over to the sawmill. And we'll talk about our scoring metrics. So the map has 5 production sites built in. We have grape, we have a sawmill, we have a bakery, the coffee production facility for roasting our coffee, and then we have a dairy. Down here we have the sawmill. Inside we have our interactive trigger. We're gonna have to try to see where the planks are gonna spawn in at. They're not overly obvious at the moment. We have our wood chips. We have our log point here, our log cell trigger. Like I said, it's not overly obvious exactly where our planks are gonna spawn in at. We do have AI traffic over here on the paved road. Lots of ambiance with respect to the distance or the background sounds. Checking that area out. Coming up directly in front of us, just to the east of Field 25, we have the Cooperative, which is going to be a sell point for various products that we can make, animal outputs and such. Then we have one of our 3 grain sell points below. Go ahead and loop on around to the sugar mill, which is what we are seeing directly in front of us. The sugar mill is where we're going to bring our sugar cane, obviously, for processing. And then we can also buy slurry from the sugar mill. So we're going to get slurry from the location over here to our right. Then directly in front of us, we have the dump point for our sugar cane. There is a large area of sugar cane that is growing in different states. You're definitely going to want that Jatco sugarcane harvester because, hard to believe, at 3 meters, it is double the working width of the base game sugar harvesting equipment. Here we have the dairy production facility. I really do like how this map is laid out with the trees, the various types of trees kind of intermixed around the field areas. Gives kind of a natural feel to things. Here we have another grain sell point. Also with these large balls on the high tension lines. That's to basically, so airplanes and such realize that there are high tension lines there. Here we have a fuel point. Our cotton bale sell point located right there. Now, before we come over here to the town where the rest of the stuff is going to be located, we're going to swing over here, and this is where we have our stone crusher and our 2 lime buy points. We have our animal dealer. And then in town, we have our 3rd grain sell point. We have Lizard Motors, which is a service shop. Right across the street from Service Motors, we have the official Jatco dealership. This is the bus station that we loaded in at in our career start point. We have a grape processing facility. We have a sell point. We have this is going to be our roasting facility for our coffee beans. This is our bakery right beside the church. And guys, that is basically the overview of the map from an aerial perspective. So let's go ahead and land down here at the Jatco dealer. We come inside here to the dealer trigger. And go ahead and get our Mahindra. While we're here, we'll take a look at the mods and DLC, so you can see that there are no mods that are associated with this map specifically, but I'll reiterate, I highly suggest if you're going to play on this map to download the Jatco stuff that was released the same day. Jatco is a South American brand. I believe they may even be a Brazilian brand. And wow, this thing is super cool. Self-propelled planter. Can you tell I am looking forward to trying this piece of machinery out? Then we have our hard to believe massive 3-meter wide sugarcane harvester. And then the Cinderella of the show, we have the Jatco K3500. This is not a required mod, but quite frankly, it should be. This is a not a sugar, but this is a coffee bean harvester. All right. Let's just check and see under trailers if this stuff is going to accept coffee beans. Well, indeed, there's coffee beans. So we shouldn't have any worry about needing any sort of custom trailer to take our coffee beans. That's good to see. Right there. This is a really cool shop. Gonna come back in here to the parts warehouse, and this is where our maintenance trigger is going to be for the dealer. That does extend outside, so if we have large machinery that we can't get inside, we can just do it from the outside. We have a fairly large area for our machinery to spawn in at also here at the main vehicle dealer. So with respect to other scoring metrics, we are going to give the map a full point with respect to production. As we said, there are 5 production areas on the map. We are going to give the map a full point with respect to having the ability to sell base game crops, products, and animal outputs. Across the street from the main shop, we do have Lizard Motors. This is another repair point. I honestly don't know if it's any cheaper or if that's just kind of a fun little gimmick of the map to have a service point right across from the main shop. One of those kind of funny things. Location, 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 right? Nice shed. We're kind of removed from the farm. Let's go ahead and take a look and see about buyable lands, right? So that is a buyable independent. So if you were starting on, let's say, farm manager, you could buy this plot, $305,000. Pretty darn expensive. Lizard Motors you could buy. It looks like you can pretty much buy everything on this map for the most part. So all of the land is basically viable. That's good to see. And this is one of our grain sell points. We'll come on in over the scales. Make our way around the bins. And then we have our dump point. Another quick corner out of the facility. Here we have our bakery. So we have our interactive trigger, we have our dump station, then we have our pallet spawn point right past that. And here we have our coffee roasting facility. We have our dump station right here for our coffee beans. Make sure we lift the lid. We have our pallet spawn point for our ground coffee beans. And then inside of here, we have our interactive trigger to turn on the process. Kind of a loud facility. We're also going to need to map a full point with respect to the farm being fully customizable at the start. That's great to see. Right past the park, we have, I believe this is like a coffee shop area, grocery store. It's a supermarket. That is going to be a sell point for various products, including coffee. We have a standard base game grape processing facility. So we don't need to go into too much more details on that one. Let's see here. We can make our way over here to the lime and stone crushing facility. like the elevation changes here. And inside we have our stone crusher. And then we have our both line points located right here. Would be nice to have seen line points kind of spread around the map as opposed to both of them being here in one facility, but hey, it's all good. Go ahead and make our way north. The next grain sell point. We're located right there. Kind of a bit of a rundown and a look to it. And this particular facility is listed as Grain Storage 2. Gonna jump in cab and drive on up here to next two points of interest. We have a fuel point. Then this facility is the bale processing facility. So we have our dump point right here. Now let's make our way across the north of the map to what I believe, if I'm remembering right, to be the dairy is on the far northeast of the map. Really digging the elevation changes. We've had a lot of really good maps as of late. Makes it difficult to figure out which ones you want to play, right? It's almost like now we got to put maps on waiting lists, right? Like, oh man, I want to play that one. I want to play the next one that comes out, but I just started this other one. Get on the list, right? Get on the list. Not enough time in the day. We are to our dairy. So we have our dump station. We have our pallet spawn point and our interactive icon for our dairy products. Next stop, the sugar mill. We'll cut through this maze of sugar cane enter the facility. And then here we can pull slurry out of the pits. This is a byproduct of the processing of sugarcane. Here we have the actual sugarcane dump station. Then we'll make our way back out of the facility. Trying to make my way down to the animal dealer from here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to accomplish it, but we'll just see. From the aerial overview, it looked like a lot of these all interconnected, which is good to see. We've got a lot of flexibility on how we get around the map. I think my system's just being a little funny at the moment. I'm going to restart it after I get done recording this video and encoding the video. But we've got that intermittent, like, just audio blip. And I don't think it is tied to this map in any way, but it is something that's come up. I've actually stopped the recording and reloaded the map once already to see if that is going to help it, but no. So we're going to double up, get to our animal dealer. Really nice advertisement here for that self-propelled sprayer. Ooh, wrong turn. We have our animal dealer. Right there. And just a few more points of interest down here across the south of the map. Or if these roads are reflectors, or if those light up at night. It'd be kind of neat if they lit up. Between field 54 and 45. Here we have our sawmill again. We're going to take a little closer look and see if we can figure out where our planks are going to spawn in at. So we have our wood cell point or wood cell trigger. We have our wood chips. Our interactive icon, and we got several points here where we could have planks spawn. Nothing marked. Let me see if I can't make something show up. All right, so I made stuff show up, and our planks are going to show up right here. So that is going to ultimately affect a little bit of the score because that's not clearly marked. That is a scoring metric that we pay attention to. Speaking of scoring metrics that we pay attention to, are the buildings using the new texture technique? Overall, I think they are. There are some that I don't quite feel are. So we are going to give the map 3/4 of a point there. And then we're going to come down here to the last two areas. Which is going to be the cooperative and the third grain selling point. I think we've already seen those are clearly marked. So with respect to our final scoring metric, are the interactive triggers and such clearly marked? Almost. Almost, but not quite. I'm going to give the map 3/4 of a point there as well. So overall, this map is going to come out with a score of 4.5 out of 5. So here we have the cooperative sell point. Let me know down below what you guys think of this map. What do you think of coffee in general being available in Farm Sim 22 and the Jackco equipment? And our final sell point is going to be one of the grain storage areas. Hop over the ramp. Come to our dump station. And there we go, everybody. So guys, that is the
Recanto da Alvorada.
map. Let me know what you all think down in the comments below. And until next time, happy farming.